Everyone, welcome to Heather Havenwood Facebook Live. I am doing this after being requested to do this, and I'm doing 2 today. We'll see what happens. So I'm basically talking about today on how and why I have used podcasting as a major turning point in my coaching, as well as turning point since 2015. So since 2015, June 2015, I've been on over 300 podcasts, summits, radio shows, YouTube videos, not like doing my own videos, but actually being interviewed. So 300 times I've been interviewed. And in that process of being interviewed so many times, I have learned a great deal. And I wrote a book about this in July 2017. But this video today is to talk to you on how and why you, if you're an author, speaker, coach, or small business owner, you've got to learn how to be a guest on podcasts in 2018, or you will just completely miss out on so much traffic, so much visibility, so much engagement. It is really the future of online marketing, and I truly believe that. When I first got started in June 2015, I did not believe into podcasting. I was like, whatever. But since then, like I said, I've been interviewed over 300 times. I've had the opportunity and the honor to be interviewed. That's how I view it. So here's a couple of tips. When I am a guest on a podcast, it is truly my honor to be there. I treat the hosts like they are the king and queen of my life. I was born in a very Southern way. My mother was a Southern debutante. So she always told me, if you go to someone's house, you always bring a gift and you literally give as much value as you possibly can, and you honor them and you clean their kitchen or do whatever. Like, you really serve them. And that's how I treat the host or hostess. And that is the number one thing I would suggest. That's like tip 1. Tip 2, people always ask me, how did you get on so many shows? Now, there's a couple ways. Yes, I do have a service that I do pay for every single month. They do about, between 3, 4, depending, every single month. However, they didn't get me on 300. They helped, but they didn't get me on 300. The rest is me. Now, how did I do that? I had to overcome something. I had to overcome something that many entrepreneurs, especially women, have a very hard time with, and that's called rejection. I had to overcome rejection. I am pretty sensitive, believe it or not. People think I'm this kind of hard ass. I'm actually not. I'm super sensitive, and when people reject me, I get really upset. So I had to overcome that, and I had to consistently get out there and break through that personally and ask people to be on the show. Because honestly, here's what's happening when you're asking someone to be on their show. So go back to the invitation of a party. It's kind of like that. They're having a party. It's their party. It's at their house party. And you're inviting yourself into their home. You're basically saying, I'm good enough to be in your home and to come into your home and take some wine. That's basically what you're saying when you're saying that, because as a host, they spend so much time, energy, and money to produce their show. It's unbelievable. From social media to editing to if they're trying to get sponsorships. I mean, there's a ton of work behind the scenes. Have you ever hosted your own house party? You think it's so easy? Oh my gosh, you got to do so much work. So you have to make sure that you really honor that. So when you're actually inviting yourself onto many shows, you have to realize they're being pitched all the time, and they want people that will respect basically their home. And I always come for that view. And some of the words that I use specifically are things like, here's who I am. Here's how I can add value to your show and your listeners, because it's all about the listeners. And would you please consider me? That's the language I use. And I've emailed them, I've called them, I've LinkedIn emailed them, I've done everything. And there have been many times I got rejected. Many times I got rejected, actually. Most of the time now I get referred, right? This person's a great guest. I'd love for you to refer me over here, or, hey, check this guest out. She was amazing. That's honestly the number one thing that I try to focus on, is to be referred. It's a lot easier, of course. But when I first got started, it was 100% cold. Part of the times people don't even know who I was. What's your name? Who are you? I've never heard of you before. Because honestly, I'm not that big. I know a ton of people in this industry, and I know a ton of big people. I could drop names all day long. But honestly, I'm not that big. I'm just not. I love to think I am, but I'm not that big. Like, I'm no Gary V. You know what I mean? So I have to honestly put myself out there. Now, here's to the women. the women entrepreneurs, listen up. If you're a female entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the most challenging things that you do. And honestly, this is how and why PR companies are still in existence today, because people are so scared of rejection that they're willing to spend $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month just so they don't have to deal with rejection. Because honestly, at the end of the day, PR is just pitching yourself. Women have a very challenging time doing that. Why? It's socially ingrained. I don't know about you, but I was taught at a very young age when I was 5 or 6, if I wasn't invited to the party, don't go to the party. You're not allowed to show up to the party. Guys, on the other hand, God love you. Guys, on the other hand, will show up with a 6-pack of beer and a hot chick, and they don't even know if there was an invitation. Like, they just don't care. And I can honor that too. I think that's great, and I wish I was them. I'm starting to become that way. But as an entrepreneur, you have to literally break through all those barriers and personally know that if you don't break through that and say, hey, I'm amazing, I can add a ton of value to your listeners, and I promise you I'll be completely respectful, you want me at your party. Like, I am the party girl you want at your party. I'm going to add so much value. They're going to invite you in, but that's very socially opposite of what most men and women are taught at any time in their lives, specifically women more than men. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just kind of a social construct, right? Some women I've met across, they're like, no, my mom was very like, just go out there. Who cares what people think? I did not get that training. I got the training of, if you weren't asked, stay at home and cry. If someone doesn't like you, don't confront them, just stay at home and cry. I mean, that's what I was taught. And then as an entrepreneur, you're like kicked out of the nest and like go and fail and all these fun things. And I like to bring it back to sports. Why? Because sports are sports. It's like the NFL. If I am working for Jerry Jones as a Cowboy, right? If I'm actually a player for the Cowboys, and I go to my boss, Jerry Jones, and I say, hey, I don't want to get hit this week. I don't want to get hit at all at the game on Sunday. He's going to say, get off my damn field and my payroll. Because if you don't want to get hit, then you don't want to be in football. And that is what I say to all entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is challenging and it's hard. Okay, it is. I don't care what kind of online course you bought that said it's perfect and easy and you push a button and you make money. I'm telling you right now, that's BS. So here's what I say. If you want to be an entrepreneur, awesome. If you don't want to get hit, don't be an entrepreneur. Go get a job. If you want to be an entrepreneur, awesome. But if you don't want to get rejection, get off the field. Entrepreneurship is challenging. It is hard. It is in the face of everything that's mentally been ingrained to you from age 1 to 19. It is the opposite. Entrepreneurship is literally the 100% opposite and counterintuitiveness of everything you're taught from junior high to high school to kindergarten to high school. It is everything completely opposite. Everything. 1, don't ask for permission. Number 1 rule. Don't ask for permission as an entrepreneurship. Do it. Number 1 rule in school, I'm pretty sure it was ask permission before you go to the bathroom. Ask permission to talk. Ask permission to blah, blah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the number 1 rule. I remember in 2nd grade, there was literally a list of the rules. There was on this big wall that she would go over like once a week of all the rules and engagements. And all the rules were don't talk unless you're talked to. Don't go to the bathroom unless you're allowed. I mean, there's like all these different rules. And then here you are as an entrepreneur and it's like, go fail, go fail, go fail, go get rejected, go create a product, not sure people are going to like it, go do something that's going to scare the hell out of you, go do something that you're not even sure if it's going to work. It's all in the face of that. So when people come to me, specifically women, and they get so frustrated, they're teary-eyed, and they're like, I don't know what to do because everyone's telling me it's supposed to be easy. I tell them, well, first of all, they're full of crap. I'm being PG. First of all, they're full of crap. Second of all, don't believe them. Number 3, it is hard. It is challenging to really build your own business from scratch. And it's more so for women than men. And I'm being honest. It's not about sexism. It's about the fact that I laugh about the whole sexual harassment thing. The sexual harassment, are you kidding me? Yeah, me too times, I don't know, 10, 20. Sexism, really? a lot. I get that a lot, where it's the boys club only and I'm not allowed in. I mean, all the time. Or it was just a boys club, I'm not allowed to do the promotion. It's part of what's happened. I don't get mad about it anymore. It's just kind of what happens, right? That Me Too times 20. I mean, if I did a hashtag of Me Too every single time that I had a sexual harassment or sexism, I would be like a Me Too constant on Twitter. But here's the thing. I know that happens and I don't get mad about it. It's like football. It's like football. One of the things they learn in football is they learn how to get hit. They actually learn how to get hit without getting hurt. It's the same thing. In entrepreneurship, you've got to get out there and learn to be rejected. If you can't face rejection, I would say go break through that or get off the field and go get a job. You don't have to get rejected. It's really simple. And I know that I'm saying a lot of things that are kind of outside the bounds of what I want to talk about today, but honestly, I feel like it needs to be said. The number one thing I always tell my clients when they first get on with me is they're not allowed to buy any products, online marketing for like 6 months. They get really freaked out about that. And that's because a lot of the products, not all of them, a lot of the products are like, just do this one button and you'll make all this money. Lottery. And I tell them, no, we're going to go deal with your rejection. What do you mean? Well, we're not going to do Facebook ads. No, we're going to go out there and we're going to basically get through your own personal rejection. Because when you get through personal rejection, then you can actually expand your business. When you get on the phone with 1,000 different new people every single day and have conversations and basically make them say no to you, you will have a breakthrough. I know when I started traveling around the country, when you have someone facing you, like in your face, not behind a computer screen, like in your face, telling you you're full of crap and I'm not going to buy your product. And then somehow you turn that around and you get them to give you $3,000. That's a breakthrough. And you don't, and you don't have like any upset around it. That is one thing I had to learn. I was 25 years old, traveling the country with guys. That was interesting. And all men. And I had to be the straight-faced girl and try to sell people, men and women who are triple my age, into a $3,000 product. How did I do that? I dealt with personal rejection. So, all right, enough of that. All right, so I'm going to end this broadcast, but I just want to say, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to learn how to do exposure, visibility, engagement, and profitability in 2018, you have got to learn how to be a guest on podcasts. Just last week, I was on 9. This week, I'm on 5. All right, I pushed a ton of them to the beginning of the year because I'm kind of slammed. I am constantly, no kidding, always on shows and podcasts, never ending. Why? Because promotion never ends. Selling never ends. This business never ends, right? Taking a break, that's hilarious. 4-hour work week, you really believe that? That's hilarious. I honestly believe it's the people that are commitment and consistency over a period of time. They're the ones that are going to win the race. Just like training. Go to the gym for 6 days, for six days, right? Do that and then stop working out and see what happens to your body. Enough said, right? Welcome to entrepreneurship. So my name is Heather Havenwood. If you're interested in building your business, getting more leads, getting more clients, and you want to actually learn how to exposure, visibility, and engagement and profitability in 2018, reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you, as I am ready and willing to completely share everything I've done to go from 0 to 300 interviews in, like, was that a year and a half-ish, 2 years, because it was June 2015. I'd love to share it with you. More than happy to. Get on the call with me. Go to callwithheather.com and get on the phone with me. Love to have a conversation. If not, you're awesome. I love you all. Facebook. Mwah. Come see me in Austin sometime, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.